back with Frankie Corrado. And Frankie, the Jets look to be miles ahead in the NHL standings not too long ago, and now they're behind the Wild in the Central Division. And when the season is all said and done, who do you think wins this division?
Ultimately, the Dallas Stars. Now, they are third in the division, but there's a few things going on with Dallas. They have had not a lot of production out of two players that are going to be big-time players for them once they get going. Wyatt Johnston, Jason Robertson. So once those guys get going, that team looks different. And I think right now with Winnipeg, we're seeing the after effects of a really tough road trip where they were in 6 cities, a lot of travel, a lot of good teams. Right now, they're feeling the fatigue. And let's be honest, was Winnipeg as good as 15-0-1 to start the season? No team in the NHL is that good to start the season. That was a surprise. Credit to them. They played really well. They are coming back down to reality a little bit, but their reality is going to be a top 3 spot in the Central Division. There's no doubting that. When it comes to the Minnesota Wild, they play defense just as well as Winnipeg. Do they score as well as Winnipeg? No. So that's going to be the biggest issue for Minnesota. If you find a team that is more well-rounded in the Central, it's probably the Dallas Stars. Between goaltending, their back end, their ability to score, Dallas is the more well-rounded team. So when it all shakes out, I would expect to see Dallas, if not first in the Central, but down the road in the playoffs, being the team that comes out of the Central Division. Yeah, and it'll definitely be a good fight that last month leading up to the end of the regular season. Now, the Jets, they've only won twice in their last 7 games. Those wins came against the Blackhawks, the Sabres. So in order for things to turn around for them, what do you want to see from them tonight? Simple. Easier said than done, though. You have to limit mental errors with the puck and defensively, because that's been an issue for them ever since their road trip. And it was hard. They were everywhere. They were in Pittsburgh, Nashville, LA, Minnesota, like Dallas. That is a very difficult road trip. And towards the end of that road trip, you're playing teams that really grind you down. So, and during the season, especially with the condensed schedule that we have because of the 4 nations, like there's just not a lot of time for them to reset. So they've had to try and reset here on a moving train, and it's been difficult for them. But as far as them trying to get back to the form that they had when they were playing their best hockey, they were sharp. They weren't making mistakes. They were wearing teams down. So if they can get back to doing that and not making those fatigue-driven mental errors, the Winnipeg Jets are in a good spot. There's still a lot of talent there. There's great goaltending every night. Special teams have been really improved. They just have to limit their own fatigue-driven mental errors. Okay, we've got quite the matchup in net tonight. It's Hellebuck versus Swayman, 2 of the 3 goalies for Team USA in the 4 nations face-off. Hellebuck is sporting the league's 2nd-best goals against average, while Swayman way down the list, ranking 40th. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 Central on TSN 3.